Next item is Melanie Bruzzini, STF and. Oh, Dave Berman, I already marked him off. So
You can't mark me all the way off, Tom.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
He said it was Dave, not me.
Connect Oregon Amendment number 2. We have that here someplace.
Well, they've got a recommendation for the 8.3.
All righty, so I finally.
We have two things, Brad.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So the first would be an amendment to our Connect Oregon grant, and it's just a time extension because of the extended time it's taken for the FAA to release money and the different parts of the project that we have to work through. So we just need to request you guys approval and a signature on our amendment to the Connect Oregon funds.
Very, very routine, there's nothing to be concerned about.
Entertain a motion. You want me to make a motion?
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'll make a motion to accept amendment number 2 to the grant agreement Connect Oregon Fund Program 2016 between Lake County Airport Apron Rehab and Beacon Safety for Lake County.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded, as stated. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And you have quotes as the next,
Yeah, the bid results and
okay?
recommendation for award. We had 2 bids, one from Alex Hodge Construction and one from Rocky Mountain Construction. We're recommending Alex Hodge as the low bidder because of the FAA actually looked these over and deemed the irregular bid from Rocky Mountain. And that was because of some of the unit prices that were not listed separately from Rocky Mountain. So talking with the FAA, WH Pacific as our engineering company, they recommended, we agreed that Alex Hodge would be our recommendation for award. And the total cost is $2,110,820 to be their cost.
Mr. Bailey, did you track, this was kind of an interesting bid process.
Well, everything's fine with the bid process, the subject matter is an issue.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the bid results and award recommendation for the apron rehab and beacon project in the amount of $2,110,820 to Alex Hodge Construction.
I'll second the motion. Motion's been made and seconded to accept the bid by Alex Hodge Construction, $2,110,820. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. That's gonna meet all the time frames and everything now.
So the only thing that won't, that could delay is if our weather changes, the projecting November for a final finish date. So if we just paving down before that time, and we're fortunate enough to get warm temperatures to do
Tom,
that.
when's their start work date?
Our start work,
Yesterday?
yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're waiting on this approval here, and
They'll
once
start-
we have this awarded, then that'll start the ball rolling.
So with those kind of numbers being thrown out there, this is all grant dollars less, I can't remember the percentage that the county will kick in, but is it 10%, 10.25 or something like that percent is what is costing the county. The cost will be covered by grants between Connect Oregon and the FAA dollars that come through, correct?
Yeah, there is one, we've got another grant in place right now that we're waiting on approval for. And if that grant comes through, it's 100% all the way through. There'll be no county money whatsoever.
Just wanted to make sure that the public knew that this wasn't just coming out.
No, that's a good point, Commissioner. We talk about it all the time, but it needs to be on the record.
Yeah,
Very good point. Great project.
yeah, very good project.
Wait to see it.
Huge amount of dollars
Be
coming.
excited to see it finally come about
Yes.
after all the talking.
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
Okay?
moving on down the list. Melanie, STF and STF board member recommendation. She's been in Shanghai.
Why didn't we actually get a sign?
Oh, the other, yeah, no problem.
We can probably sign that next week, Melanie. Melanie, we can probably sign that next week or the week after.
Yeah, no, please don't. We need to get this going.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Melanie, I
Dave.
mentioned you're up next, STF, and also the STF board membership recommendation.
Okay, so we had a meeting on Monday with Teresa Conley. She came down to help guide us through this SDIF fund application. And we discussed things we need to meet criteria. And we need a number to represent low-income individuals to even out our roster. I have a list of everyone that would be on the committee for you guys to look at. They recommended the appointment of Lori Crocker. Mrs. Crocker has been very involved with the student and senior community for years. She's fluent in Spanish and has represented disabled and elderly individuals. Al Schweitzel just moved here from Redding, California 2 years ago. He's a former grocer. He's been involved with the American Cancer Society down there for 10 years, and has also been involved with the Lakeview Senior Center. Terry Crawford applied. She is very involved with the North Lake community. She serves in the Christmas Valley Chamber of Commerce and runs a local newspaper up there, the Desert Breeze, I believe. Also, she used to drive for Intercourt Family Center, so she has a good idea of transportation in Lake County.
So, all these were, this is a recommendation coming from the advisory committee for us to appoint. And that's the
Yes.
process, is for recommendation to come in and then appoint. So, noted that it was a majority vote, and they all,
They were unanimous. The nominations in the committee meeting, they were all unanimous.
During
There
the
were no objections.
okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the recommendation from our Lake County Public Transportation Advisory Committee of appointing Lori Crocker, Al Schweitzel, and Terry Crawford.
I'll second the motion. Motion's been made and seconded to accept the recommendation and appoint the three mentioned. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, up next, Melanie.
Okay, so there were some unallocated funds after the 2017-19 biennium budget was approved in the amount of $24,000. There are also some unanticipated STF funds. So we just allocated them through a recommendation and would like you guys to approve that. The Special Transportation Committee unanimously decided to split the funding to 1/3 to Intercourt Family Center and 2/3 to the Lake County Senior Center. And so I have the agreements to approve and allocate those funds for you.
Okay, so that's the STF Service Agreement Addendum.
The STF is the master agreement, and then there's a clause in there for the 5310 funding at the end of the agreement also. So it serves for both. It's just titled STF, Special Trans Fund. Excuse me, Special Transportation Fund.
So Melanie, just one question, and I asked you this the other day, and I apologize for not remembering the answer, but The split seems right in that we have two ends of the county that provide Lake County senior citizens, so it's
Mhm.
kind of a third, a third, a third
Mhm.
between the airport and then our local entity here that provides funding
Right.
to
Yeah.
the north end senior citizens. Is it embedded in here that that will be an equal split, the 2/3? 1/3 going to, 1/3 here being able to be spent and 1/3 in the north end?
No, but I can include that. I think that's a good idea.
I do too, Commissioner. It's, if they were a nonprofit, say the North End Senior Citizens Group, they, in this agreement, it would be a ICFC 1/3, Lake County South End Senior Citizens 1/3, and North Lake 1/3. But because they service with our senior center here, both the north end and the south end senior citizens.
Well, maybe I haven't followed well, but the whole service thing is done through an RFP. And so whoever qualified for the RFP, that's where the funds are going. To specifically move it out, I guess I'm not fully following if that's within an RFP process or if that's okay. I mean,
I'm not.
we basically have two providers, right? We have Intercourt Family and we'll have the Lake County Senior Center. And so it's state dollars that come down, RFP process, they've been awarded. The committee's saying we'll split it this way. And so I think maybe where you're going is that you're trying to make sure that the north end gets represented by the right amount. I don't want to get in the middle of dictating through an RFP process. So you have to do it by these guidelines. We can recommend you do it by this and represent all of it. I guess that's where I'm hanging up a little bit.
Well, and maybe after the motion is made and seconded and voted upon, just for melody for the record, we can, if you're in agreement, we can say that our discussion was that we were wanting to see the funds distributed for service equally throughout the county.
We strongly recommend it.
Yeah. We can do that. We can't dictate how they provide the service, but we
No.
can recommend and guide them.
Well, and it's for a whole nother day, but hopefully in the future, there'll be other entities that have the ability to participate in the next biennium's RFP process. Yeah.
There was some discussion at our last meeting of other qualified entities. Well, Lake County's the only qualified entity specifically to receive funds, but other pass-through service providers that could apply in the north end and receive.
Yeah.
But in the future, yeah, we're
Yeah.
under.
In the next biennium process.
Yeah, we're under the current rules
Yeah.
of this biennium, so I'll make that motion that we approve the service agreement addendum as presented. The total amount is $32,698 to be split. ICFC 1/3 and Lake County Seniors Center Association 2/3.
I'll second the motion, and the motion is as stated. It's following the recommendation from the advisory committee to the Board of Commissioners. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. I think it's been stated very strongly that as Board of Commissioners, we would really like to see those dollars representing all of Lake County, as mentioned.
Right.
That cover where you'd like to go, Commissioner? Okay. Next one is bylaws.
So
for
this
the
is some housekeeping. We need to have bylaws for the STIF committee. We found it prudent to combine them into one set of bylaws for both committees and form, instead of an STF and STIF committee, one committee that would serve the Lake County Public Transportation Advisory Committee. These new bylaws are adopted from our previous STF bylaws. They've been amended and modified to fulfill the responsibilities required by the STIF requirements. because they have provisions such as low income, and that is the main aim of SDIF funding.
I reviewed them, and they're very good bylaws. They cover and do exactly what they need to do.
Great, thank you. I'll make a motion that we approve the adoption of the Lake County Public Transportation Advisory Committee bylaws as presented.
I'll second the motion. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the amended bylaws as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, I have OLCC permit Jackrabbit Lounge. This has been reviewed by our sheriff, which is a request that we do before they come to us. This is a new application. Once they're in business, it's a general sign up every year, but this is new application, so there was no problems with the sheriff, so entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the OLCC license request from the Jackrabbit Lounge, and I'm not sure whose name.
It's,
This is a new form.
under the name, it's Emily
Emily E.
Nowak,
Okay,
I believe.
okay.
Okay, I'll second the motion. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the liquor license application for Jackrabbit Lounge under the name of Emily E. Nowak. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The other thing that I have is what I brought forward on the fairgrounds grandstands. I would like to request from the Board of Commissioners support. I'm talking financial support and support of county employees. What we have is the grandstands are in condition. They have not been able to get repainted in time for fair this year. I have also on the fair board, we have DOC crews coming in on Monday the 20th, I believe it is, and Tuesday the 21st to scrape, sand them, to have them in condition to be painted. That's only a week out from our fair, so they'll need to be painted and stenciled. So what I'm requesting is whether through our video lottery dollars, which is economic development dollars, or through our loan/grant program to leverage some dollars to put towards this. The paint's been purchased. We may have to do a little more paint. We probably need a couple sanders and some boards or different things to be able to shore up some of the things out there. So I don't have a specific number on that because if I can't at this time, I'm asking for support of that. Another thing I think that's sort of unique that's a team building is I would like what department heads and elected officials would allow county employees to go out there possibly that week. I don't have dates specific, to work during their normal work hours. If the department heads and elected officials say that they can do without them in their offices, or there could even be road crew or whatever, and they still get paid, and allow them to go out there and help us get this done and finished as far as the paint side of it. So that's sort of a unique request to ask for labor to do this. It's going to represent the biggest weekend Lake County sees every year. Apologize that it hasn't gotten done, but we're sort of crisis management out there. So threw a lot at you. Discussion, legal counsel looked up. I don't know if there's any issues. Anything I said, no issues that he sees.
Nothing that got me a concern.
Well, since we went and took a look last week at this huge need, I'll just put it that way, and the fact that Commissioner, you working with others have got it to this point to make a very solid request and recommendation on how we might be able to ensure that we have a reasonably good-looking set of grandstands that are humongous when you actually go there and think about the work. I can't help but support this completely. I mean, it's just, thank you for all the work you've done in the last number of days to get us to the point where we will see it get done.
Well, I just come up with the idea that the team of people within Lake County is what makes things happen, Commissioner.
Well, I know that's what will end up making it happen, but I can guarantee you, had we not stopped there and had the visit that we had and looked at the situation, we would be going into the fair conduct in a bad situation. And that is because of what you have brought forward and organized.
Thank you. Put it in perspective, we may have a little more paint, but it's about 85 gallons of paint that has to go on here, airless sprayers and so on. So getting it coordinated, Jake out of our adult corrections has been great to work with and suggestions. So I would, I guess the appropriate way, I need to know the appropriate way you show them support. Doesn't need to be in motion or consensus of the board okay to do this.
You can do it by consensus.
Well, I think that, for me, that I think is appropriate, and I think as far as the funding goes, you know, the right person to visit with, you'll pick out the right.
We'll be conservative.
Well, and you'll pick out the right fund, whether it's video lottery or the loan fund, so.
Okay, consensus of the board for support for both financial help and for county employees' help during normal help.
Yep.
By consensus, that's agreed upon. Thank you so much for the support. Now, next public. All right, we have minutes from, was there any comments from anybody? Okay. We have Commissioner-elect out in the audience. I wasn't sure. I'm sure he'll probably be there working. So we have minutes from our special session of August the 9th.
And we also have them from our work plan, the 31st and the 1st of August.
Oh, I got to flip the page. Yes. Melanie gives me 2 pages.
Yeah, she gives me two too.
Yeah, good thing you pay attention.
Not always. So I will make a motion to approve.
All right.
3 sales.
I'll second the motion. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes of July 31st, August 1st, and August 9th as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Liaisons, skip department updates unless you guys have anything there. Nope. Executive session or legal sessions for open session.
Nothing for open, nothing for executive.
All right, there we have it. There is nothing further to come before us. We will adjourn at 2 minutes to 12.
I hate to meet you the last time I was here.
But notice it goes much faster than solar.
Yeah.